Um, so we also have campuses in the central Taiwan. So if you look here, you'll see that we have forest. So these are our highland experimental forests. So one big part of NTU education is that outside of learning in classroom, you're able to transfer your knowledge into the real world. So because we are a research-oriented university, a lot of our students are involved in research. So for example, if you're doing anything related to forestry, you might go with your professor to our experimental forest to do some hands-on field research. So here are some of the reasons why people choose NTU particularly. We have a very high world reputation. So we are ranked number 1 in Taiwan, number 21 in Asia, and number 68 in the world. And obviously, we believe that rankings are not everything, but we are very proud of the fact that we stand with the world's best university in terms of this ranking. So we also have comprehensive disciplines. In total, we have 17 colleges, 58 departments, and 148 graduate institutes. So it's going to be easier to list out what we don't have than to list out what we do have. So basically, anything other than architecture, arts, or maybe education, you're going to be able to find at NTU. So as an NTU student, you're also going to have a lot of global exposure. So we have more than 700 partner institutions in more than 60 countries in the world. So I'll go over these a little bit later. We also have a very vibrant campus life with a lot of international students. And like I said before, we have very affordable university expenses, especially compared to some of our similarly ranked peers in the world. So let's take a look at some of the programs offering that we have. So we have 17 colleges in total, and we are constantly trying to reorganize our colleges in order to respond to the world's trends. So you can see that the School of Politics and Economics is going to be very new. It's going to begin this year. And 3 years ago in 2021, the Graduate School of Advanced Technology and International College began at our school. So you can see here that among the QS World University ranking by subject, we are ranked within the top 100 in all 5 subjects. So like I said before, in the past, Taiwan's university doesn't offer a lot of English talk program, especially for bachelor students. But recently, we've been trying our best to add more programs. And just this year, we will be offering 7 programs in total. So if you're more interested in a STEM field, we have the program of biotechnology and food nutrition. We also have civil engineering. There's also intelligent engineering and technology, foreign languages and literature, economics, political science, and semiconductors. So you might have heard of TSMC and all that. So semiconductor is a very hot topic nowadays, which is why this program, so we got our first students in the program starting this year. So we're hoping that the program's going to continue to grow bigger. So if you're curious about this industry, about semiconductors, this is a really great program to look into. A little bit more about our student body at NTU. So in total, we have 34,000 students. About half of these are graduate students, and about half of these are undergraduate students. So it shows that we are a fully comprehensive research university. So we have a lot of resources dedicated toward research, and most of the times, bachelor students can get involved in research as well. So out of these 34,000 students, we have 10% that come from overseas. So my personal experience of just walking on campus is that when I'm on campus, I hear a lot of different languages and I see a lot of people who look different from me. And I think it truly shows that NTU is a very international environment. You will not feel alone on campus. So if you look below, you can kind of see where most of our international students are coming from. So we have a lot of students from Malaysia and Indonesia, and we also have students from Japan, South Korea. So for last year, we had about 40 something students from the Philippines, but this year I think we're gonna have more. So obviously we're really happy about this growth, and we hope to see some more Filipino students join us on campus next year. So if we're adding up non-degree students as well, meaning exchange students and language program students, within one school year, we actually have more than 6,000 international students on campus. And here's a little bit more about our globalization. So these are our partner institutions by continent. So you can see that we have partner institutions from Asia, from Europe, from the Americas, from Australia, New Zealand. We also have partner institutions in Africa as well. So what these partner institutions are good for is that you get to go on exchange. So even if you're coming to NTU as an international student already, you still have a chance to go abroad for one more experience to broaden your horizons, to experience a different culture, and to improve your language skills. So at NTU, the exchange programs are categorized by the language that they're taught in. So you also have the general program, which are usually taught in English. So the really great thing is that within your 4 years of bachelor's studies, you get to apply for either one semester or 2 semesters of abroad. So the really great thing about going abroad as an NTU student is that you're paying NTU tuition only. And once we take a look at our tuitions, you'll realize why that is a really good deal. So even if you're going abroad to an American university, which usually has higher tuition costs, you only have to pay NTU tuition. We also offer scholarships that makes it easier for you to go abroad. And once you're coming back, you get to transfer your credits into your graduation credits at NTU. So you can see below that these are some of the exchange programs that we have. So students go abroad all over the world, and we really hope that they bring their new perspective back to us, back to our campus as well. So in the introduction, you've mentioned a little bit about the alumni that we have. So it's very clear that NTU is the #1 university in Taiwan. We are the most reputable, the most comprehensive. You can see that we have international award winners as an alumni. We also have professionals in the art and social studies. So particularly, we also have a lot of alumni who are pioneers and innovators in industry. So we have the chairman of TSMC, we have chairman of ACES, BenQ, MediaTek. So a lot of tech companies, they all have alumni coming from NTU. So this is really significant because based on these alumni connection, our school's Office of International Affairs is able to make connections and to offer experiences and internship that benefit our international students. So students might wonder, oh, if I come to Taiwan to study, is it going to be easy to find an internship? Or is it going to be easy to find a job in Taiwan after graduation if I would like to stay in Taiwan? And we understand that this is a really big concern that students have. So the Office of International Affairs has started 2 programs. One is called NTU International Mentorship Program, and one is called the NTU Overseas Internship Program. So these programs were designed for international students with the goal of providing some experience of working in Taiwan before graduation. So what you do is you apply to the program, and then the program will match you with one of their partner companies, and then you will get an internship experience out of it. So you might work there for maybe 6 weeks or 2 months during the summer. So even though this program started 2 years ago, we've seen really great successes so far. So some students get offered a position after they finish their internship. So the NTU Overseas Internship Program offers a similar idea, but you will be conducting your internship abroad. So you can take a look here at some of the partner companies that we have. So you can see that we have partnerships with these public companies and also private companies. So particularly we have partnership with TSMC, with Delta, with Giant. So these are some pretty big companies in Taiwan. So if you've never been to Taiwan before, I would like to tell you more about our campus. So we are located in the heart of Taipei. So we are right here. So this is our main campus. And other than the medical school and also the School of Politics, Economics and Politics, most students will be on the main campus. So this is actually a really great place to be because we are close to so many food places, and it is very easy to go anywhere by public transportation. So if you heard of Taipei 101, 101 is located right here. And then we have the Gongguan Shopping District right here. There's another university right here. And then this is the Da'an Forest Park where a lot of students can go. And basically, Taipei is a really great place to be. So if we're zooming in a little bit, like I said before, the downtown campus is smaller and usually only particular students will be there. So most students will be on our main campus. So we do have a relatively big campus, so most students get around by bikes. So here are some photos of our school. So we, like I said, mentioned before, we put a big emphasis on learning, on practical learning. So we have experimental farm, experimental forest, and we have greenhouses that are right on campus. We also have affiliated hospital. We have the NTU hospital, we have the plant teaching hospital, and the veterinary hospital. And just scattered throughout the campus, we have a variety of research centers. So we also have the biggest university library in Taiwan. So this is our main library. If you search up National Taiwan University, you will probably find a photo of our main library. We also have college libraries and department libraries. So these are really great places to check out resources that you need for your papers. This is also a great place to find a quiet place to study during midterms. So we also offer student counseling services. So the Office of International Affairs, like I said before, will be pretty much involved in all your student life. If you're coming here as an overseas Chinese student, there's also staff just for that. And we have a health center that's right on campus. We have a student counseling office, we have a career center, and academic advising office. So here are some of the student activities. So Annie will talk about it more later. So I'll just quickly mention that being an NTU student is not boring. So all the students I know are very busy. So they're either busy with their sports team, they're busy with their clubs, they're busy with homework. I think NTU students just live very full lives. So you might be curious about the accommodation options at NTU. So we have general dormitories that are right on campus. So it's very easy to get to other places and you'll form close friendship with people in your dorm. We also have Prince House, which offers a little bit more privacy, but it's slightly further away. So further away, meaning maybe like a 10-minute walk to campus. So here are our tuition fees. And this is also where I would like to explain a little bit about Taiwan student status. So this is, so students might get confused if they're hearing about it for the first time, but I'll mostly focus on international students over here. By overseas Chinese student means that if you have any Chinese heritage, so it doesn't mean that you need any Chinese citizenship or Taiwanese citizenship. It just means that you come from a Chinese Filipino family or you have Chinese heritage somewhere from your dad's side, from your mom's side, either way. But in that case, you might also fulfill the status of overseas Chinese students. So you can see over here that they differ a little bit in the tuition fees, but for international students, it's this much per semester. So we are still very, very affordable compared to American, European universities. So here are some more estimated cost of living for your reference. So you can see that on campus, so if you're just living on a general dorm on campus, this is for one semester. So it's quite affordable, especially considering Taipei's a very big metropolis. So students also need national health insurance, and these are only estimations. So obviously it matters a lot how you live your lifestyle. Yes. Students also have the options of working on campus to support themselves a little bit. So in my office, in the Office of International Affairs, we have a lot of interns working for us. So these interns are able to work once they have a work permit. So even if you're coming here as an international student, it's very easy to apply for a work permit. And you can work as teaching assistants, lab assistants. You can work in the office. You can be our student ambassadors. So these are just some ways that students support themselves. They also have the option of working outside of campus. And I'll talk a little bit about scholarships later, but a lot of students do take advantage to further to prepare themselves for the future as well, and also to meet some new people at the workplaces. So if you're interested at all in National Taiwan University, this is how you will apply. So all you have to do is to go to our website. So all you have to do is Google National Taiwan University Overseas Students Admissions, and it will take you to a website where you will go over everything that you need to know. So like I mentioned before, we have two student statuses that you might fulfill, but I'll focus on international students for now. If you're interested or if you want to know more about overseas Chinese student applications, you can talk to me later. You can shoot us an email and I'll be very happy to answer. So for international students, applying is very easy. All you have to do is to go to our website and apply online. So here are some dates. As you can see here, we are currently in August. So if we're looking at international students have 2 rounds of applications. So for this year, you will enter September of 2025. So the first round starts in October, it ends in December, and you will know results in February. For the second round, it starts in December, ends in February, and you will know your results in April. So there is no difference between the 2 rounds, other than that some departments are only open for 1 round versus the other. However, most departments are open for both. So all you have to do is once you feel prepared enough to make your application, you can apply. So obviously you'll know the results earlier in first round, or you might want to be a little bit more prepared and go for the second round. So this is the dates that you will be looking at. So it hasn't started yet. So if you're applying as an overseas Chinese student, you can see that the dates start a little bit earlier. So all you have to do is to go to our website and then you can apply up to 5 departments. But you do have to notice that you have different departments, they have different supplements that you have to provide. So you upload all your documents such as graduation certificates, if you have those, transcripts, nationality, financial statements, and all that. And then you will also put your recommender's email in the system and you pay your application fees. And most of our programs do not require examinations and interview, especially at the bachelor's level. So once you do that and you submit your application, you're done. So this is for overseas Chinese students. So the only requirement we have for application is the language requirement. Because you're from the Philippines, you're not required to provide any English proficiency proof. Just with your passport, it is enough for English proficiency. So if you happen to know some Chinese and you want to apply for our Chinese talk program, you do have to show us some kind of Chinese proficiency proof. So it has to be at least TOCFL level 2 or HSK level 4. So we offer a lot of scholarship as well. So for international students, it's very easy to apply for scholarship. During your application, all you have to do is there's going to be a box that says, do you wish to apply for scholarship? And all you have to do is to check the box that says, yes, I want to apply for scholarship, and you will be considered for scholarship. So for bachelor student, what you will receive is for 4 years, you will receive a tuition waiver. So up to 65,000 will be waived each semester. And if you remember from our tuition page, basically for most students, you do not have to pay any tuition at all. And for 4 years, for each month, you will receive this much in stipend. And if you decide, so after your bachelor program, if you decide to move onward to our master program, you will receive a one-time award of this much. And a lot of students also come to Taiwan on the Taiwanese government scholarship. So most students look at the MOE scholarship, and you can see that it offers tuition waiver as well and monthly stipend. So applying to the MOE scholarship, you will have to contact the Taiwan office in the Philippines, and it will be a parallel application, so you will have to apply to both. So that's pretty much it for me. So that's the information part. And if you have any question at all, you can go to our website. So the website should offer all the answers that you need. However, we will be very happy to answer any questions related to your specific situation at this email. So intadmission@ntu.tw. And now I will invite my student to share about her experiences. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Can everyone see you?
Yes.
All right. So, hi everyone. My name is Annie Yang, and I'm going to be sharing my experiences studying in NTU. So, uh, I am actually a Taiwanese born and raised in the Philippines. So you can just call me Ate Annie. I can speak Tagalog. And I came from the school Grace Christian College in Quezon City. If you don't know this place, this school, you guys might know Alice School. Actually, like yung eskwelahan niya is Grace Christian College, apparently. So that's interesting. And I'm currently an NTU Life Science third year. So I know you guys are probably all considering to study abroad, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And I would just like to share my experiences as someone who did study abroad. And I would agree with this statement. There's no education like adversity. Because here, while I'm in Taiwan, I had to live on my own. I live away from my parents. You know, like if you want to go out and eat, you decided everything by yourself. You like you could come home late at night, nobody would know, like your parents wouldn't know about it. And you know, because of that, I've learned to be more independent. And there's also the language barrier. Like let's say the 7-Eleven employee is like asking you something and you don't understand it. Like at first you're definitely gonna feel really anxious. And eventually you learn to like let things be like, because learning languages is really hard, and it's going to be better if you just let yourself go easy. And also meeting international friends that give me lots of different perspectives. Like in NTU, like as mentioned by Vivian earlier, it's a very internationalized place. So you're going to meet a lot of different people with different ethnicity and background. And I met this like Guatemalan friend, and she told me that it's crazy how in Asia, like students study really, really hard. And if they don't get the grades that they want, like they would even consider suicide. While back in her place, people are really chill about it. And if you uh like if you don't get the good grade, your mom would probably be like, "Hey, that's okay. Like, do you want to take a gap year?" Like, they're very chill and they won't affect their mood. And it made me change my views on grades. So just meeting international friends really changes your life perspective or expectations. And adapting to a new environment and culture, it's like very difficult at first, but after you get through it, it feels like you've got a new home you could always go back to. Like there's a sense of familiarity that's not just associated to one place, that's the Philippines. So I think all of these little things really built my confidence from someone who's really shy and afraid to someone who's more confident and proactive in doing things. So I will definitely recommend to study abroad. And studying abroad is one thing, like making the choice to study abroad, but why would you choose Taiwan rather than, say, UK or US? And I would say that the a big reason is safety, because is ranked third safest in the country, safest country in the world. And it's very impressive considering that there are many first world countries that aren't as safe as Taiwan. For example, I've got a friend who's French, and she said she's so surprised that she could like go to 7-Eleven and wear shorts with her purse out and she wouldn't get robbed. Like she even took a picture of it to her mom, sent to her mom, because she just feels so happy to be in this safe place. And yeah, it's like if you leave your purse in a convenience store and you leave for 2 hours and come back, it's still gonna be there. It's like it's crazy how it's so safe here, especially coming from a place like Philippines, where I'm worried about taking my phone out in the Jeep because, you know, it might get robbed. And another thing is convenience. It was mentioned also earlier by Vivian, like there's like MRT, like the MRT has more than 2 lines, and the bus actually comes in time. And there are U-bike stations everywhere in Taipei. So actually Taipei is quite small. So you can actually reach a lot of places through just bike. And the first 30 minutes of U-bike, the U-bike rental system, it's like you press a card to the bike and it's gonna like come out and you can use it and bring it to the next station and return it. Like if it's under 30 minutes, it's for free. So your transportation could be for free if you use the bike. And you have all of these convenient transportation system, plus you have 7-Eleven where you can do lots of things like pay bills, like your school tuition, you can collect your parcels or send parcels to other places or eat actually good food. It's just it's really nice to stay in Taiwan. That's why like lots of people who study here actually decide to stay here for the long term. And Another thing is opportunities and resources here are a lot. For one thing, the tuition is quite cheap compared to other places in the world, or even like the private universities in the Philippines. And if you lack some money, you can just work. And working here, the minimum wage is like 183 NTD per hour. That's around 325 pesos per hour. And you can earn here in Taiwan what you can earn for 2 hours, what you can earn for a day in the Philippines, which means you can save, you can actually earn for your tuition if like you need to. Because I've got a friend from Thailand, like she has to earn for her living expenses and tuition because she's from a provincial area, and she was able to do that, even though it's quite, it's quite difficult to do it. And another thing is there's plenty of programs, research labs, internships in Taiwan for international students. And that's because Taiwan has a birth rate problem, so they lack students, and like we need new international students to fill in the gap. And one thing is like I know that in UP, there's like the research labs get full, like become full a lot, and it's quite difficult to get a slot. But in Taiwan, it's like there are so many research labs for all kinds of different things, and uh, it's like it's all just a problem of if you want to enter the lab or not. Like me, I haven't entered yet because I still don't want to, but I could whenever I want to. And that's a really nice thing to have. Like there's really lots of opportunities here. And as for like the resources to support student lifestyle, like there is the Academic Advising Center, where if you're unsure about how you're going to take your courses or plan all of your credits, or if you're interested in something and you want to start moving towards a track, you can go to this Academic Advising Center, and they're going to have like a mentor, a teacher who's gonna tell you who's gonna guide you to the right track or give you resources to further explore your interests. And they're also going to provide like older peers who might be like, let's say you're interested in psychology, but you're in like computer programming. Like they're gonna find some older person who's already like working in psychology to kind of talk to you and ask what do you really want. So that's really nice. And another thing is there's like the academic counseling service, which is like a free tutorial service provided by NTU. Uh, so they're gonna pay like people in your major that are seniors, and they're going to let those seniors tutor you a one-on-one, and you don't have to pay anything. Like the school pays the senior for you. And another thing is the Student Counseling Center for Mental Health Problems. I personally like experience anxiety and all of that, and this has been a lifesaver for me during my freshman year because adjusting to a new place, I had like a lot of anxious thoughts, and after going through this, it's like I feel a lot better. And next, we have an internationalized environment. There are 6,000 plus international students from 77 countries at our university. That's a lot. So uh, you could really easily find international students to make friends with. And like I said, it really broadens your horizons. Like it's not just you don't just like find a friend for you to visit. Like let's say you're going to Germany, it's like there's a friend who could like bring you around the place and show you the nice place, the nice stuff. But you also learn new ways of living that could really that could potentially guide you in your life. Because let's say like you meet some, like my Austrian friend, she taught me to kind of think of education a bit more unconventionally, because she actually didn't study like high university or high school immediately. Like she started like photography and all of those things, and uh it's like she did things on her own first, and it made me think that like I don't have to feel so much pressure trying to walk the conventional path. Or there was another friend who did au pair first. Like they kind of stayed in a place in China and helped like the house owners kids in to bring them to school and stuff. And she, yeah, she will stay there for a while for free and teach kids. Like it's quite nice. And like I have pictures here of me and my Singaporean friends. We actually traveled from Taipei to Hualien. We were part of the cycling club in NTU, and Hualien is like 150 kilometers away from Taipei, and it's right where the beach is and where a gorge is. So we climbed a mountain that was really beautiful. And another one is the next picture is like my Austrian friend. She said that in Austria, like people know how to climb trees, like they do how to ride bikes. And I asked her to like teach me how to climb trees, and we just started climbing trees in NTU. So yeah, it's like it's really interesting to meet international students. And of course, like a big reason why you might want to go to Taiwan is to learn Chinese language. Chinese is like the second most dominant language right now. And it really opens up lots of opportunities for you to go around the world, just go to like China, Taiwan, or even go back to the Philippines and get a higher salary than you otherwise would if you didn't know Chinese. So Taiwan is definitely a good place for you to learn it. And lastly, like this is surprising, but the lifestyle is really, really healthy. Like if you go to Taiwan, like you might notice how much more you walk each day or how much more you bike each day. It's quite tiring, but eventually it's like really, really healthy. And the food here, like the first time you come here, like you're gonna feel like there's no taste. And it's like when I stayed in the Philippines, I ate fried food every day. The only vegetable I ate was the vegetable in sinigang. So it's like when I came here, I didn't like vegetables at all and people found me weird. But apparently it's like similar among Filipinos here. And yeah, eventually you get used to it and you start to eat healthier. So yeah, now I'm going to be talking about my experiences in clubs. And these are experiences that are unique to me because I am interested in these, but there are lots of other like opportunities in clubs that you could encounter when you go to NTU. So the first one is I was a part of World Volunteer Society in NTU, and we went to Nepal to teach some kids Chinese programming, economics for 2 weeks in June. And this experience was amazing because it was my first time like going to a country that's so different from what I've been used to. Like I'm used to like seeing Filipinos and Chinese people, not like Nepalese or Indian people. So like when I went here, like I was surprised by all of the architecture, and the kids were like so bold and very sweet. And it's like I think because we were affiliated with NTU, like we were able to go to a school and meet with the locals, and they were able to introduce Nepalese culture a lot more than if you traveled by yourself. So it's like being a part of the club allows you to get this plus reimbursement for your plane ticket too. And the next one is another club called Asian Future Political Leaders Association. And each year they go to a place, like there's a club in each of these universities, the same club in each of these universities, in University of Tokyo, in Fudan University, Peking University, Seoul National University. And in each year is hosted by a different university. So last year it was in Shanghai, this year is in Seoul. I went to the Seoul one, and I was able to meet with really bright minds. Like a lot of them can speak like 4 languages. And uh like for example here, this one is Ban Ki-moon, which is the previous UN Secretary General. He's probably the most famous person I've ever met in my life. But yeah, like they were able to get him to come because of their connections. And aside from that, it's like what we do is in the morning we have discussions about politics or economics and stuff, and at night we just drink. So lots of discussions happen, especially between like NTU students and the Chinese university students because of the mainland like China and Taiwan tensions, right? And another thing is like the South Koreans, they also had a situation with a North Korean student who joined through Peking University like a few years ago. And it's like in the morning they don't talk at all because like South Koreans can't really, they're not allowed to talk to North Koreans. But like at night they just like start drinking and they start opening up, and it's like just quite a unique experience. So yeah, I would also highly recommend this club and this experience. And lastly, I will give some advice if you do wish to come to Taiwan. I hope that you come to Taiwan with a heart dedicated to learn Mandarin. You can definitely go through 4 years without learning much Mandarin and you will survive. But then I don't think you won't enjoy it as much if you did like dedicate yourself to learning it. Because it's like you're already here where everyone, like the locals, speak Chinese. Like it's a great opportunity for you to learn it, like even just a few hours each day. Like before I came to Taiwan, even though I'm Taiwanese, like I had like really crappy Chinese. I had like elementary school, like grade 1 level. My grandma used to like diss me a lot because of it. But I improved like 100 times after I arrived in Taiwan, and I'm still learning up to now. And I'm trying to study every day too. So I think it's quite worthwhile to do that. And you can't really get to the heart of oh, sorry, wait. Yeah. You can't get to the heart of a country until you learn its language. So I would really hope that you decide to learn it. And I've got Indonesian friends who did not know any Chinese until they arrived at Taiwan. And that's when they started learning and they could speak really fluently by the end of their 4th year, which is really admirable. And the next advice is Taiwanese people in general are less outgoing and more shy than international students. And I hope you don't take it personally because like I personally was disappointed when I first realized this because I wanted to have like Taiwanese friends and but they seem really slow to warm up, and I realize it's just a cultural thing, and like that's okay too. If you want like really outgoing people, you could go to international students, but uh when you're getting close to Taiwanese students, just keep it lighthearted, and if they like reject your invitations to meet up, it's totally fine. But I wouldn't want you to like be deterred from getting to know them. It takes some time. And yeah, this is my Instagram account, cloudweaver039. And the next line is NTU PASOK. NTU PASOK is actually the Philippine Student Association in NTU. And I'm the current president. So if you want to ask anything about NTU, or if you want to get connected with anyone like that's in the major that you want to get into, then you can just message me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I think is this a time for Q&A now? And so if anyone has any question about student life, um, Annie will be happy to answer, or if you have any question about application, I'll be very happy to answer as well.
Hi guys, if you have any questions, feel free to send them in the chat box or unmute yourselves. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, like, I just want to share like how much my dorm costs. So I think my dorm costs like 9,000 NTD, which is around 15,000 pesos per like semester, which is already 4 months. And if it's on the full semester, if you pay like the 15,000 pesos already, like it actually counts for your winter vacation too. So you're pretty much paying like 15,000 pesos for 6 months. So that might be additional information you'd want to know.
Okay, thank you. I got a question from the audience. How fluent does one need to be in order to work?
To work, like as in, so to work. So for some office jobs, I think, so for example, for some TA, I think if the class is English taught, you can get by with entirely English. But for any, do you have any thoughts on that? How much do you need to know in order to work? I think in our office at least, we have two Indonesian students in our office, and their Chinese is passable, but because our office deals a lot with English speaking work, so basically they can get by pretty well without knowing much Chinese.
I think that Taiwanese people, like their English is actually quite okay. So I think even if you could only speak English, like it should be okay to work.
Okay, thank you. For your next question, oh, hmm, what's it like living in the area where the university is located?
Annie, do you want to answer that since you live on campus?
Sure. So it actually varies a lot. Yeah. So the main campus, right? It's the area around it has a lot of food. So it's like you don't have to worry about the food. And I think the transportation is really okay, like anywhere in Taipei. It's not just the university area, but there's like the main campus and also the medical campus. So if you're going towards the medical like track, then near there there's less food than you would have in the main campus. I actually live in a dorm at the medical campus, and I think the food is passable. It's just not as good as, the place near the main campus.
Okay, next question. As an international student who would be submitting regular debit grades without IB, are there any extra subjects or credits that we need to take once we're there?
So there's a common core curriculum that everyone has to take classes out of. So for us, at least, we don't actually look at IB, AP, SATs, all that. So these are supplemental information that you can submit. However, they don't count for credits. But I believe that, for example, for English proficiency, you can test out of it if you have some form of proofs. And also for Chinese, you can also test into different levels, but basically it's okay if you're coming here without any prior credits.
Okay, thank you. Once again, everyone, if you have any questions for NTU, please send them in the chat box or unmute yourselves. Okay. Is there a strong Filipino community within the university that can help students feel at home?
But there is a strong community, I would say, because our Exicom members are actually quite passionate about helping Filipino students. But the Filipino students before this semester are quite few compared to other communities like the Indonesian community or the Thai community. So I'm sure that over the semester, as like the future comes, there will be a lot more Filipino students, and yeah, it will become a lot more robust. But yeah, if you have any questions or like if you need any help, you can always contact me, and yeah, there are always people willing to help within NTU.
Okay. What type of scholarships does NTU offer?
So our scholarship offer is the NTU International Undergraduate Student Scholarship. So basically you will get a tuition waiver, meaning you don't have to pay tuition at all during your 4 years here. And for 4 year, for each month, you're gonna receive 8,000 NTD as a living stipend. And you can use the stipend to maybe use it on dorms, use it on food. It doesn't matter. And on top of that, we have government scholarships also. But for NTU, that is the scholarship we offer.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Once again, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to send them in the chat box or unmute yourselves. Okay, I don't think anyone's sending additional questions, so we'll just wrap up the session here. But if you have any additional questions but you can't think of them right now, feel free to send them in our post fair interest form. Yeah, once you accomplish that form, we'll direct your questions to them and then we'll get back to you with their response. And also, if you're interested in signing up for the university's newsletter, please make sure to accomplish that form. Once again, thank you, Mix Fan and Mix Yang, for coming for today's college fair session. Thank you.
Thank you.